Best case scenario and worst case.
So it's our understanding that the federal government will start a couple of pieces of the reservoir this year. They haven't broken ground yet, but maybe the contract will get awarded this year before October 1st, and then they'll get started. And some of their time frames have it taking 8 to 9 years to get built. Yes,
Brian's gonna.
Yeah, let me just give it to you specifically. You asked, was this brought up in Congress about funding the reservoir? Everybody's aware that Pelosi funded a beautiful park with multi-million-dollar homes on it in San Francisco, exactly the way that she brought dollars to that park in her backyard. We said, hey, why don't you do something important for millions of Floridians, Everglades restoration and the EAA reservoir? That was rejected by Pelosi and her people as well. So this was addressed at every step, every level along the way. This was not something new to them.
It's just interesting. Look, I'm a recovering member of Congress. I'm glad I'm out. But I'm watching what they're doing up there, and just as a Floridian, so much of what they're doing is geared towards helping New York and California and these states. They passed the reconciliation bill, which these guys voted against in the House, that would have cut taxes for wealthy people in high-tax states like California, New York. So people in West LA, Beverly Hills, they're getting a big tax cut. In Florida, we wouldn't have gotten anything out of that with our folks. And you're wondering, why would you be supporting that? It just doesn't make sense. But so much of what they're doing is really designed to help kind of, their political bases. And I think that the thing about the Everglades was this isn't really a partisan thing in Florida. Pretty much anyone, regardless of party, there's majority support, and we want to get it done, and we want to get it out of this same mindset that they're doing. But what Brian said is certainly right. If Florida wants something for whatever reason under this administration, it's okay, then you're not going to do. I almost thought with the monoclonals when they cut it, if I came out against monoclonals, then the next day there'd be a truckload that would be there for that. But that's unfortunately kind of what we're dealing with. But we're not going to let it deter us. And I think most people, when they look at this and say, well, gee, this is the biggest spending infrastructure probably in American history, right? $1.2 trillion. And to not have one dime for one of the most important projects in the United States, that was a huge, huge whiff. But I think that was why a lot of these guys, opposed it, because they say it's infrastructure. But as Marco pointed out, there's a lot of stuff in there that is not infrastructure. There's a lot of stuff that's more ideological in nature. And I just think it's important to say it. I also just think, as an aside, we were able to do $80 million in water infrastructure and resilience projects in South Florida on Friday, and we're proud of that. It's good. There were reports that somehow that was from Biden, false reports that was from Biden infrastructure. No. Those long-term recovery from CDBG block grants, I think that was enacted, when Trump was still president. And so, we got to get accurate with what we're doing here. So we're happy with what we've done at the state. We do want them to have better priorities. We're also going to be announcing this week additional things that we're doing to strengthen Florida's resilience against storms and flooding. And so this will be our Resilience Florida. We're going to do the biggest announcements yet. So that'll be this week. And I know we've gotten great bipartisan support in the legislature for that. So we're going to keep going there. Okay, thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.